In a shocking turn of events, the Supreme Court has just delivered a devastating blow to tech billionaire Elon Musk by ruling that Tesla vehicles are too dangerous to operate on American roads. This unprecedented decision comes after months of investigations into multiple accidents allegedly caused by Tesla's self-driving technology. The ruling has immediately halted all Tesla production and forced existing owners to park their cars until further notice. But is this really about safety concerns, or could there be powerful forces working behind the scenes to take down one of the world's most innovative companies? Let's find out. Tesla's safety record and allegations of danger. Tesla's cars have been on the roads for over a decade now, and during this time, they've faced their share of safety questions. Let's look at what the actual record shows about these electric vehicles. When Tesla first introduced autopilot in 2015, it changed how people thought about driving. This system helps drivers by controlling speed and steering, but it doesn't make the car fully self-driving. Drivers still need to pay attention and keep their hands on the wheel. Several crashes have made headlines over the years. In 2016, a Tesla Model S crashed in Florida while autopilot was on, and the driver died when the car didn't detect a white truck against a bright sky. In 2018, a Model X hit a highway barrier in California, killing the driver. The car's computer logs showed the driver didn't have his hands on the wheel despite several warnings. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, has opened multiple investigations into Tesla crashes. By 2022, they were looking into more than a dozen accidents where Teslas using autopilot hit emergency vehicles parked on roads. These crashes happened mostly at night when flashing lights were on. Some Tesla owners have reported sudden acceleration problems where their cars sped up without warning. Tesla has denied these claims, saying their logs show the drivers pressed the wrong pedal. Battery fires have also raised concerns. While all car fires are dangerous, electric vehicle batteries can be harder to put out and might reignite hours or even days later. Some fire departments have developed special procedures just for Tesla fires. Tesla has faced criticism for how they name and market their driver assistance features. Autopilot and full self-driving might make some buyers think the cars can drive themselves completely when they actually can't. Safety experts worry this confusion could lead to dangerous situations if drivers rely too much on these systems. Despite these issues, Tesla regularly points out that their cars have earned top safety ratings in crash tests. The Model 3, for example, received 5 stars in every category from the NHTSA. The company also releases quarterly safety reports claiming their cars have fewer accidents per mile than average vehicles when autopilot is used properly. Independent studies show mixed results. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found that Tesla's automatic emergency braking and forward collision warning systems did reduce crashes. However, other studies suggest that some advanced driver assistance systems might actually increase the risk of certain types of accidents if drivers become too relaxed. Tesla has responded to safety concerns by updating their software. After crashes, they've added features like more frequent reminders to keep hands on the wheel and better detection of emergency vehicles. They've also improved their batteries to reduce fire risks. It's worth noting that new technology often faces extra scrutiny. Traditional cars have plenty of safety problems too, with over 40,000 traffic deaths occurring each year in the United States alone. The question isn't whether Teslas are perfectly safe, but whether they're safer than the alternatives. But what happens when questions about safety move beyond debate and into the highest court in the country? Supreme Court's landmark ruling against Elon Musk. The Supreme Court's decision to shut down Elon Musk's Tesla operations sent shockwaves across the country last week. After months of hearings and reviewing evidence, the 9 justices voted 7-2 that Tesla vehicles posed an unacceptable risk to public safety and ordered all Tesla manufacturing plants to stop production immediately. The court's 45-page ruling highlighted several key problems that led to their decision. First, they pointed to the growing number of accidents involving Tesla's autopilot system. Justice Roberts wrote that while self-driving technology holds promise for the future, Tesla released an unfinished system to the public that gave drivers a false sense of security. The court found that at least 37 serious crashes in the past year could be linked to drivers misunderstanding what autopilot could and couldn't do. Second, the justices were troubled by reports of battery fires. Unlike regular car fires that firefighters know how to handle, Tesla's lithium batteries can reignite hours or even days after being put out. The court cited incidents in Florida, California, and Texas where Tesla vehicles caught fire while parked in garages, causing homes to burn down. Third, the court criticized Tesla's approach to fixing problems. Instead of traditional recalls where cars are brought to repair shops, Tesla often uses over-the-air updates, basically sending new computer code to fix issues. Justice Sotomayor wrote that safety problems should not be treated like smartphone app updates, and that serious defects need physical inspection by trained mechanics. The legal basis for the shutdown came from the National Highway Traffic Safety Act, which gives the government the power to protect people from dangerous vehicles. The court determined that Tesla had violated Section 15B of the Act by not reporting safety problems quickly enough, and Section 30A by making misleading claims about its vehicle's capabilities. Musk's lawyers argued that the shutdown was unfair and that other car companies have had safety problems too. They claimed Tesla's safety record was actually better than most when looking at miles driven. However, Justice Kagan dismissed this argument, writing that innovative technology does not exempt a company from basic safety requirements that protect American lives. The court also took issue with how Musk responded to earlier warnings. Instead of working closely with safety regulators, evidence showed that Musk often criticized them on social media and resisted making changes they recommended. Justice Barrett noted that no company, regardless of its innovative contributions, stands above the law. The ruling doesn't mean Tesla cars already on the road must be parked forever. Owners can still drive their vehicles, but Tesla must provide a plan within 30 days for addressing safety issues in existing cars. The company is also required to set aside $4.5 billion in a special fund to pay for these fixes and any damages from future accidents. Financial experts say this decision could cost Tesla over $30 billion in lost sales and dropped stock value. The day after the ruling, Tesla's stock fell 42%, erasing about $200 billion in market value. For Tesla to resume operations, the court laid out specific requirements, redesigning the autopilot system with clearer limitations, improving battery safety with better protection and cooling systems, and establishing a more traditional recall and repair process for safety issues. This marks the first time in decades that the Supreme Court has completely halted a major American manufacturer's operations, showing how seriously they viewed the safety concerns. But one has to ask, what series of events led the nation's highest court to take such an extraordinary step against one of America's most influential companies? Legal proceedings leading to the shutdown. The road to the Supreme Court's decision about Tesla wasn't quick or simple. It started with smaller lawsuits in different states that slowly built up over time. Back in 2021, a group of car owners in California filed the first major lawsuit. They claimed their Tesla vehicles would suddenly speed up without warning. The case, known as Martinez versus Tesla, included evidence from over 50 drivers who experienced these scary moments. Tesla's lawyers argued these were just driver errors, but dash cam videos showed cars accelerating even when drivers weren't touching the pedals. Around the same time, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, began looking into crashes where Teslas using autopilot hit emergency vehicles. They collected data from 16 separate accidents where Teslas crashed into police cars or ambulances with their lights flashing. This investigation raised serious questions about whether Tesla's self-driving technology could recognize emergency situations. As these cases moved through the courts, more problems surfaced. In Texas, a family sued after their loved one died in a Tesla that caught fire after a minor crash. The battery burned so intensely that firefighters couldn't put it out for hours. Tesla's team claimed the design was as safe as possible, but fire experts testified that the battery layout made fires especially dangerous. The Federal Trade Commission jumped in next, investigating Tesla's advertising. They questioned whether calling the system full self-driving misled customers about what the cars could actually do. Internal emails showed Tesla employees had worried about the name being confusing, but marketing teams pushed for it anyway. By 2022, these separate cases began to merge. A federal judge in Delaware combined 7 similar lawsuits into one bigger case. This larger case focused on whether Tesla had rushed dangerous technology to market before it was ready. During this combined case, former Tesla engineers testified about safety concerns they had raised that were ignored. One engineer described warning about problems with the car's ability to detect objects in rain or fog, but said the company pushed ahead with releases to meet deadlines. Tesla's defense team pointed to their safety record compared to regular cars and argued that new technology always has growing pains. They brought in data showing that Tesla vehicles had fewer accidents per mile than traditional cars when used properly. The turning point came when a whistleblower from Tesla's AI team shared internal test results. These documents showed that Tesla knew about specific situations where their self-driving system would make dangerous decisions but released the software anyway. As the case moved to appeals courts, state regulators from California, New York, and Massachusetts joined in. They added evidence about Tesla's battery disposal practices and manufacturing pollution that hadn't been part of the original cases. The Supreme Court agreed to hear the case after an appeals court ruled against Tesla in a split decision. The 9 justices spent 3 months reviewing thousands of pages of evidence before hearing oral arguments. During those arguments, Tesla's lawyers emphasized the company's innovation and job creation. They warned that ruling against them would hurt American technology leadership. The other side focused on safety, arguing that no company should be allowed to test unproven technology on public roads. What made this case special was how it combined consumer protection, environmental concerns, and transportation safety all at once. The Supreme Court had to balance innovation against public safety, which led to their unprecedented decision to halt Tesla's operations until major changes could be made. Elon Musk's response and future plans. As news of the Supreme Court ruling spread, Elon Musk didn't stay quiet for long. Within hours, he took to social media to share his thoughts with the world. "Today's decision is wrong and hurts American innovation," he wrote. "Tesla has always put safety first, and we have the data to prove it." Musk called an emergency press conference at Tesla headquarters the following day, where he spoke clearly about his disagreement with the court's decision. "The Supreme Court has made a mistake based on outdated information," Musk explained. "Our self-driving technology has been tested for millions of miles with a safety record better than human drivers. We will fight this ruling with everything we have." Musk outlined a 3-part plan to address the situation. First, Tesla would file an appeal and request a review of the decision. Second, the company would release all safety data to the public to show transparency. Third, they would work with lawmakers to create new rules that better fit modern car technology. "We're not giving up," Musk said firmly. "Tesla will continue to improve our technology while this legal battle plays out." In the days that followed, Musk met with his legal team to prepare their appeal. He also reached out to other car companies to form an industry group focused on self-driving car standards. This move surprised many, as Tesla had often worked alone in the past. Musk announced that Tesla would temporarily update all its cars with a new software version that would limit some self-driving features to comply with the court's ruling. "This is not a permanent solution," he told customers in an email. "It's a step back while we take 2 steps forward." At a town hall meeting with Tesla employees, Musk tried to keep spirits high. "We've faced challenges before," he reminded them. "Remember when everyone said electric cars would never work? Now look where we are. This is just another bump in the road." Musk also revealed plans to speed up work on Tesla's next generation of sensors and computers. "If the court is concerned about our current technology, we'll build something even better and safer," he said. "Sometimes setbacks lead to breakthroughs." Musk also announced that Tesla would hold a public demonstration of their safety systems, inviting government officials, safety experts, and media to attend. "Seeing is believing," the invitation read. "Come witness what our technology can really do." In interviews, Musk emphasized that the ruling affected not just Tesla, but America's position as a technology leader. "Other countries are moving forward with self-driving cars while we're moving backward," he warned. "This decision doesn't just hurt Tesla, it hurts our future." Despite his fighting words, financial analysts noted that Musk had quietly begun shifting some resources toward Tesla's energy business and SpaceX projects. Some saw this as a backup plan in case the legal battle dragged on too long. With Musk's ambitious vision for Tesla on the line, how will the company cope with the sudden disruption, and who will bear the brunt of its fallout? Impact on Tesla's operations and stakeholders. The Supreme Court's decision to shut down Tesla hit the company like a storm. The effects were immediate and far-reaching, touching every part of the business and everyone connected to it. Within 24 hours of the ruling, Tesla's stock price dropped by 42%, wiping out billions of dollars in value. Investors panicked, selling shares as fast as they could. Many had put their savings into Tesla, believing the company would lead the future of cars. Now they watched their money disappear as the stock fell. For Tesla's 70,000 employees, The news brought fear and uncertainty. The company announced it would need to lay off about 30% of its workforce, roughly 21,000 people. Factory workers who had been building cars just days before now cleaned out their lockers and said goodbye to friends. At the Fremont factory in California, production lines that once hummed with activity stood silent. "I've worked here for 6 years," said one employee, leaving the building with a box of personal items. "I helped build these cars. Now I don't know what I'll do next." Tesla's customers face problems too. People who already own Teslas worried about what would happen to their cars. Would they still get software updates? Would their warranties still be valid? And what about those who had put down deposits for cars that might never be delivered? The company quickly set up a customer support team to handle thousands of calls and emails. They promised that existing cars would still receive basic updates and service, but many features would be limited until the legal issues were resolved. For those waiting for new cars, Tesla offered 2 choices: a full refund or the option to wait and see if the company could restart production. About 60% chose refunds, while others decided to stick with Tesla despite the uncertainty. Tesla's suppliers felt the pain too. Hundreds of smaller companies that made parts for Tesla cars suddenly lost their biggest customer. Many had to lay off their own workers or even shut down completely. The effects spread beyond just Tesla. Other car companies working on self-driving technology slowed down their projects, worried they might face similar problems. This ripple effect touched thousands more jobs across the country. Tesla's competitors saw both good and bad news in the situation. Companies like Ford, GM, and Rivian gained some customers who had planned to buy Teslas, but they also faced tougher questions about the safety of their own driver assistance systems. Inside Tesla, the remaining employees worked to find ways forward. The engineering team focused on redesigning the self-driving system to meet the court's safety concerns. The legal department prepared mountains of documents for their appeal. The public relations team tried to rebuild trust with customers and the public. Tesla's factories were partly converted to make other products while the car business was paused. The Nevada Gigafactory increased production of battery storage systems. The Texas factory shifted to making solar panels. These changes helped save some jobs, but couldn't replace all the lost car manufacturing work. For communities where Tesla had factories, the shutdown brought economic hardship. Local businesses that served Tesla workers saw their sales drop. Tax revenue that supported schools and services decreased. 3 months after the ruling, Tesla announced a new partnership with safety experts and government officials to create better testing standards for self-driving cars. This was part of Musk's plan to show that Tesla could address safety concerns and eventually return to full operations. "We're rebuilding from the ground up," Tesla's chief safety officer explained. "Every system, every sensor, every line of code is being reviewed and improved." The road ahead remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: Tesla would never be the same company again. Whether it could recover and rebuild depended on how well it addressed the serious safety concerns that had led to this crisis in the first place.